Hi, and welcome to the final chapter of our art journaling workshop. And this is a fun one. We're going to be working with pattern paper. So I'm a scrapbooker and I have a lot of pattern paper. And I'm just going to cut pieces exactly the size of my art journal, and then I'm just going to adhere it with Mod Podge. And I'm going to use it as starting points. So this is such a cool idea, to start a page. I did not prime my pages because the paper is going to be an extra layer of between the media and the page. And what's interesting is at the end of these 4 pages, some of them you didn't even see any of the pattern paper. And some of them it came through. And I think it's really just because of how it's like playing following the leader. You know what? The pattern paper dictates almost where it wants to go. So it's a fabulous, fascinating process to do it like this. So this is the one part where using Mod Podge is amazing and really helpful in this whole process. And it really works. It's almost like you're priming your page with Mod Podge. So this is nice. What I also like about Mod Podge is the way that the media goes on top of it is really lovely because it's so smooth. I use the matte Mod Podge. And just be sure that you don't use it too thickly. That's the common mistake, I think, that happens when you use Mod Podge on a art journal page, is that you use too thick a layer, and you should really use a very thin layer. My hands are very helpful in smoothing papers out, even though it's a little annoying because it gets really tacky on your hands. But then again, you know what? We have baby wipes, right? So once it's dry, we're going to start. And I'm just going to start with a light pink. I think it's the roses that just reminds me of pink, and I'm going to use a little fuchsia or magenta. I don't know what color acrylic paint that is, and I'm also going to add white paint right there where I'm painting out of the tube, and that's just to blend the edge of the paper into the background a little. So first of all, I'm just going to soften that edge a little, and then I'm going to mix in the pink, the yellow, and the dark pink and white, and then I'm just going to paint around the flower. So at this stage I'm just going to keep 1 or 2 of the flowers still very visible. And you know what, actually this is one of those pages where the flowers did came through, especially at the top of the page. If you look at the final page, the rest of them were actually covered. But what I like about it is that it looked like stamped images, on your paper, which is cool, which I love. So this is really a very interesting process to start your page with pattern paper. So once this is dry, I'm just going to tear off like the middle parts that didn't want to stick down, just because of the cardstock and the paper is a little hard. And I just decided, I'm just going to tear it off, because this is where you get into trouble with your art journals when you fold them over, is in the creases. So you really want the creases to be super smooth, and you don't want things sticking over and creating problems later on. So that's the reason why I just tore it out there. And then next up, we're just going to start the playing process. So removing some of those as well, but they're actually quite flat. Really, one of the funnest things, just to spray this purple on this page. And after you can see I made a mess, of course, so baby wipe is super cool there, just to wipe your desk clean. But you know what, honestly, this page and this purple just stole my heart, and it really inspired me to make more of these. So I have a couple following this page with the purple, and now I'm just spraying it with water, and then I'm tilting it to make it work. And the water is just a way to to dilute the paint a little and not to make a bigger mess on your page. Oh, you can see there how lovely it turned out. And now I'm just going to add some black. So I'm working with black again, and let's just dive into it. A clean brush, a little bit of water, wet the brush, and then just going to paint it into the page. This is really one of my very favorite pages. I don't know, I love how it turned out. I love how the Mod Podge also resists the paint a little bit, as you can see there. And now I'm just going to dab it with a paper towel just to remove the most of the black ink, and then I'm going to use a stencil. So this is one that I created myself for my Art to Heart workshop, and I always keep them because I use them again and again and again. And you know what, to me it's about the words on it, but in the end it's more than that. It's about the texture on the page as well. If you look at the related products, you will see that I linked actually a whole bunch, 4 or 5 script or text stencils that I could find on scrapbook.com. So I'm going to just use this to add some texture to my page, and I'm going to use soft gel, and I think so, yeah, that's soft gel, and a little bit of, I don't know, did I mix it with molding paste? Yes, just a little bit of molding paste. I'm just going to mix it up with my palette knife. That's the word I was looking for while I was making the supply video. It's amazing when your brain just rests a little, you can remember. And remember, people, English is my second language. Okay, so I'm going to spread it over, and I'm not going to be very particular. I'm not working very neatly, and I'm going to do it on this side as well. And the reason is just to give it some balance, a little bit of balance, you know. I don't know, I just always do it, most of the times. Or always except sometimes. I like to work just to put a little bit of weight on both sides, but you can see there's a little less of the words on that side. Now just let this dry, and this is very important to let it dry. And now we're working with our secret weapon, the vivid lime green ink, and look what happens when you put that over the words. It's really like magic. It tints it and it stains it, but you can still see through it. And isn't that amazing? And then just a little bit of the darker blue-green, and then I'm just going to blend it in with a wet brush, splatter a little bit here and there. Couldn't be more happy with the colors. And isn't it the weirdest combination of colors? I mean, purple and green and vivid green and black. Yet it all works together, and it gets even a little bit more crazy because I'm adding red to this mixture as well. So love the way that it's blending. And you know what, I can see how it works with the cut file or the illustration again. I think a lot of the colors are inspired by the cut files, and now I'm just going to paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a tiny bit of the vivid lime green in with white acrylic paint, and I'm just going to smooth things out a little. You know, I just need some quiet, and that's most of the times when I feel I need. Oh, not yet, but I'm going to, I promise. So I'm doing a little bit of words in red there, just drying that spot a little better. Then I know the paint won't smudge or flow. But you know, most of the time when I use a white acrylic paint and mixed with any color, it's just to create some quietness. It's when the journal, I feel it gets a little out of hand, and I just need that little bit of contrast with the busyness. So I feel that the red words really work well here, and I'm not overthinking it. I don't even know what I'm writing there, and it doesn't matter. You don't have to know what I'm writing. Again, it's just for texture and markings. It's just a type of marking on your page. You can see already the difference, just this quiet space that I'm creating right now is making. And I probably will do my journaling there. I can't remember always exactly where I did my journaling. I'll probably see at the end, but I think it's exactly there. And the nice thing is when you work, when the inks are just a tiny bit wet, you can just blend, like you can see there, it's happening there. You just blend it, and there's really magic happening, and the purple just makes the world of difference. So nice. And now just using a little small brush and just adding a tiny bit of texture, and markings to the page. This page is not gonna get a whole bunch of markings, but it will, I don't know, it just works nicely. See, the paint strokes can also be markings on your page, and I really encourage you to practice it, because this is part of our technique, is to make it interesting. Is you don't have to do everything the same all the time. So just a small brush and just making different little marks, paint strokes. Just working, doing the detail work, which I'm so fond of, and which I think makes such a big difference when you do art journaling. And the page is almost done, it's not a whole lot more that I'm going to do on it, except for the journaling. So a really fun page, a big contrast with colors, and in the end, just love it. Love it. You can see it's all done, and I added my journaling, and how nice, it turned out. I love the purple. It's my favorite part of it. So thank you so much for joining me in this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.